An awful lot of your lyrics are kind of about spirituality and how you feel inside, and I'm just intrigued to know, where do you come from spiritually? What do you do to maintain your spiritual condition and progression?
I think most religions have some kind of space that they've set up in whatever manner where you afford yourself, or you're being told to afford yourself a space to meditate. So even I'm not a big fan of the Western religions, Catholicism. I was raised Southern Baptist, but even so, those religions always have that space where you have to go to confession. You have to sit in a box and vent for a few minutes and take a deep breath, or you have to sit on your knees and pray. And that's what it's all about. It's almost like the Eastern religion. It's the same thing. It's getting into a lotus position and clearing your mind and just breathing for a few minutes and really making a space for yourself. So I think that can be found anywhere as long as you have intent for it to be that. For me, it's, my friends are always complaining that I take long, hot showers. Well, it's one of the few spaces that you can have by yourself with no interference with the water pounding and kind of drowning out all sounds and the heat, and you just close your eyes, and then all of a sudden the hot water runs out. You're like, how long have I been in here? So it's that kind of a space that you have to afford yourself every day as an artist. So if I have a spiritual side, it's about trying to be as honest as I can with my words, with the experiences, because if they're going to translate at all, they have to resonate on some level with the pure friction of what went on, whatever that might be. You have to get that onto paper, and not so much worry about the consequences of it. You're gonna, because it is friction, and it is your point of view of friction, you're gonna get some flack from people if they recognize that the friction was about them, or not. They might appreciate it that you helped them work through it as well. But the combination of trying to be honest with that, and then finding your place to pray every day, whatever that is, just find some space to breathe. I guess that would be my spiritual side.
I see quite a lot of stuff on the websites to do with the occult and Abramelin and Enochian theorem and all that. Is that?
That's more Danny. Danny's more into the Enochian stuff. I appreciate it, definitely. I've studied world religions and have dabbled in some of the Crowley stuff, but and read up a lot about the Templars and Rosicrucians and the original Freemason movement.
I mean, it's like a huge pool of ideas, basically, and all of those, a lot of those specific ideas have been kind of downtrodden quite a bit, and unfortunately, I mean, there's a lot of creative stuff in there, that could be really appreciated by a lot of people that wouldn't necessarily go and look because it's been given like a bad facade or whatever. So it's just kind of like a massive, anything with new, fresh ideas, different ways of, creating images or sounds is positive,
A lot of these artists, a general undertone to their work has been free thinking, really understanding your connection with the universe and your ability to create within it. And that's definitely a danger in most people's eyes. So when you're speaking of people like Crowley or, say, Stanislav Tsiolkovsky, a lot of it has to do with, that's why these are downtrodden artists. Bill Hicks, same thing. He was definitely, about the free thought. And oddly enough, they die. It's a strange phenomenon. So I think that's why, that we kind of resonate with that ideal, where you're really trying to push the idea of free thinking and your ability to create.
If there was a single sort of core tool element, would it be think for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the think for yourself part works to a point, but when somebody's telling you to think for yourself, it's it's like a snake eating its own tail.
Think for yourself. All right. We're all individuals.
But I mean, there's more to it than that. If you just start really delving into the world religions, you start seeing a lot of patterns within them that have to do with a bigger picture of consciousness and your energy within all of that. And I think that's why Danny's really into the ritual magic stuff, because I think Crowley was really into particular movements and rituals and positions and whatnot that could actually unlock doors, and you see into different realities in a way. And it's exactly like, I know it doesn't sound like it's exactly like, but if there's a friend of mine who was into Qigong and Tai Chi, and he had an amazing master that he studied with. Very quiet man who almost wouldn't give anything up, just kind of gave you basic stuff. We would go to him every, 3 times a week, doing these positions and poses, and he always kind of wondered, what the fuck is this stuff about? But he just did it. He really practiced it. And he said one day, in a room full of 50 people practicing the stuff, he put himself in one of these positions, like the Tai Chi position. And when he got to the position where he's supposed to hold this position, he felt this energy run through his entire body, like he just grabbed a hold of a plug on either end, his toe in his hand, just completely lit him up. I mean, stood his hair on end and everything. And nobody in the room noticed it. He did it, and his eyes were all wide open, and he kind of looked across the room, and his instructor just kind of gave him a nod. And that was it. That's all they gave him. You know what I mean? So it's the same kind of thing. It's a discipline where you really can unlock some other stuff if you just open yourself up to it and explore. And I think, and we hope that that's what we're trying, doing with the music is bumbling around in the dark until we all come together like monkeys typing on a typewriter. And all of a sudden we just come up with the right thing that ends up being that thing that really the light just kind of comes through. And I don't know that we've done it yet. I think that we're on the path, and that's what people recognize, is that we're on that. We are the monkeys bumbling around typing on the typewriter, these idiots stumbling around in the dark trying to find the doorway. So it's appreciated for those who are going through a similar process on some other level, where they're also doing the same thing somewhere else. They appreciate what we're trying to do.